taxi routes across the city of Cape Town have been closed for the next 30 days. It comes as government moves to curb spiraling violence in the minibus taxi industry. The drastic step is being taken under Section 91 of the National Land Transport Act. That's a law that allows provinces to impose extraordinary measures when unrest or instability puts lives at risk. This follows a series of deadly clashes that has claimed several lives. Nasiphi does have more for us on this one. It's following it out of Cape Town. Nasiphi, one thing is for sure, that now the commuters are the ones that are bound to suffer over the next 30 days and need to make alternative routes.
Well, Arabile, what I'll tell you is that the provincial government is saying that measures have been put in place to cushion the commuters that are reliant on taxis during this month-long closure of certain routes. And as you put it, extraordinary measures that have been implemented in the city of Cape Town, affecting several routes, and that is due to escalating tensions and violence between warring associations, CATA and CODETA, over dispute of routes. And as a result of that, we've seen bloodshed in and around the city of Cape Town, and at taxi rank, caught in the crossfire is taxi drivers, owners, including commuters. I am now joined by the MEC of Mobility in the Western Cape. You made the announcement on Friday that about 10 routes will be affected: Somerset West, Kylie, Chamakaza, where we currently are, and a number of other routes as well. But how will this closure look like? We are seeing a number of taxis operating, but how does it look like?
No, firstly, I need to explain, and I think there's some confusion. We are at a taxi rank, and a taxi rank consists of many lanes and routes. So we are closing the lanes that are affecting the routes that we are going to close, and that we are closing today.
And the cushioning now of commuters and not inconveniencing them during this period?
No, we've made transport contingency plans. As you can see around us, you see there's a lot of Golden Arrow buses, and also the train is also running. So we've tried our utmost best to make sure that they are not convenienced to the level that it would make them frustrated. That hence we've made alternative transport arrangement with cabs, Golden Arrow bus service, and Prasa as well.
Will we be seeing shorter intervals on these various modes of transport, that is cabs, of course, and metro rail?
No, I wouldn't think so, because ultimately what we want to see, people want to get to work, and people must get back to work. That's what we want to see. And I think also what is important, we should never have been focused on the closure of routes and lanes. Ours must be on the focus on getting people to the table so that we can have a lasting solution. Because this is an inconvenience on everyone, from the side of government and the operators and the communities as well.
Before we go into that, the buses that have been brought into these routes, are there operating licenses for them?
No, the buses have been operational from the onset. So they're just giving extra, buses for the sake, because of the capacity as well. So they have been operating on some of the routes already.
So, MEC, you're saying that the main focus now should be bringing the parties, that is the taxi industry, CATA and CODETA, to the table to get to some sort of resolve. But I mean, it's been about a month, if not more, that these two parties have not been able to find each other.
No, I always say to people, when you are a leader, it's an opportunity for you to step up. It's an inconvenience on CODETA, it's an inconvenience on CATA. It's an inconvenience on government, because we must make sure that our people can move in our province so that they can be able to save, feed their families, and that is not helping. Kids still need to go to school, and within the next few days we will going to start with our matric exams, and we would want to find a solution before that starts. And I would really urge, the leadership of CATA and CODETA to come to the table. We've been there, we've spoke to them on 16 meetings, and this measure, we don't want it to be a permanent measure. They would need to show leadership and talk to us as government so that we can actually get back to normality, and this is not acceptable.
The issue of routes in the taxi industry is long-standing, particularly between these two associations. What are you going to be doing differently to ensure that we don't return to where we are? I mean, just a couple of months ago, mass shooting in Mfuleni where we were this morning.
No, what is nice about what is important about us as government that we are doing? We've already had, drafted a memorandum of agreement in saying how are we going to deal with these issues. And in the memorandum of agreement, we are talking about a monitoring committee to say, these issues have been coming for years, and we cannot find ourselves in this situation year in and year out. There's issues of routes. There's issues of unidirectional and bidirectional, and we need to resolve these issues. And unfortunately, it will take time, because if you have to change some of the routes, then we have to amend some of the operating licenses. So there must be a committee that we're going to establish that is consist of all parties, and that is the memorandum of agreement that we want to send to the affected associations. And if they agree, and then we can start putting our plans in place so that we can start dealing with these issues, so that we don't find ourselves in the same situation again next year, because this is not helping any one of us.
We'll have to leave it there. The MEC of Mobility in the Western Cape, Isaac Sileku. We are currently at a taxi rank in Khayelitsha, Makaza, where one of the routes in Makaza has been closed. That is the route to Somerset West. Just to go back to the routes that have been affected, it is Route 18 from Mfuleni to Somerset West, Route 43 linking Lwandle and Khayelitsha via Somerset West, as well as Route 611 between Khayelitsha and Somerset West. Authorities are saying that the lanes at the taxi ranks have been closed, including the routes. So basically what is going to happen is that law enforcement, or rather law enforcement officials from the city of Cape Town will be the ones that are going to be ensuring that the taxis on those routes will not be operating. We do know that there's a high presence of law enforcement in various routes where these taxis are not allowed to operate.
Yeah, and this is going to be very interesting over the next few days to see how the impact